So, I have been saving all the Ford videos until I get the truck done, but I haven't posted anything about the truck for a while. So, I'm going to go ahead and just post what I have done with the truck, and then you'll just see more videos as we work on it. I'm more interested in getting it done than filming it, so I may not film everything. But I did end up finding a radio that will fit in it. It's not a Ford radio, but it is a radio with a tape deck that will fit in the Ford. This is it's a Delco radio, so it's for a GM. And you noticed it didn't have any knobs on it. But that same guy also gave me this radio, which I know is out of a Chevy because I recognize these knobs. And these knobs are going to go on this bigger radio that has a tape deck. I wanted a radio that at least had a tape deck. Most of the radios that I could find that had a tape deck and a CD player were way too big to fit in the radio slot. So, obviously it's going to take more than shoving a radio in that truck to have music, because I gotta have somebody go through this tape deck on this radio, make sure it's not going to eat up all my music. I know a guy, but I still have to get an antenna for that truck. And I gotta get a speaker, and gotta get power to this radio, which factory-wise would be via this giant plug back here. So I don't know how to go about doing that. Tracy and I were looking for numbers on this thing, and they're all covered up by something. They're either covered up by wires or they're covered up by this bolt here. Someone somewhere will know what this is, and I'm sure that they use this plug for more than just this radio. So I don't think it's going to be real hard. It's just going to be who's going to do it, you know. Good news. You can probably buy these, but if not, we have 2 or 4. I think these plugs are 2-piece or 1-piece each. So we have 2 of the 3 plugs apparently that go in there. So we're not searching for 6 plugs like it looks like. Now hopefully we're not. Obviously I don't have this one. And I don't know if that's because this radio doesn't have a tape deck or what. I have no idea. So we have more than I thought we did. These were free. I'm just hoping this works, this tape deck works. So these knobs are going to go on here, hopefully. And then we're going to go from there. That's basically where we're going to leave off, and now I'm going to get into the videos that I have been doing with the Ford truck. And you see the Flex Seal behind me there. That's also for the Ford truck, but it's been too cold to use it. That's part of our issue, is the weather. So, enjoy these videos. Probably is going to be moderately long video. I don't know, because I haven't actually put them all together yet. I'm just kind of making this intro so that it's not just a the video doesn't just randomly end. It just randomly ended because that's all the more footage we have. Alright, so something I'm going to do on this truck that's not going to be original. I hate these reflectors with a passion because they don't light up or do anything. You look at like the next body style after this, they don't have that, and they look See, this side looks great without that reflector there. That one's broke off. I don't like it. I'm taking those off. So see, clean this off. And clean that one off. And you won't even know they were there, except for the holes. And them holes are little enough, with all the other scratches and dings on the truck, you're not gonna know. So, it's still good. This one got chipped, but you can still use it. I'll keep it, because it's for the truck. This, I don't know if there's any sense in keeping that, but I do have those off now. We got headlights and oil, which I'm not going to do in this video, but we have oil. So now let's plug these in and hopefully they light up, because I ran into the realization yesterday that I'm not really sure what works and what doesn't up front here, because well, just watch this. If I pull out the lights, this one works. I don't have tail lights, but I do have brake lights. When I press on the brake pedal, the lights come on, so I know they're not burned out. And I don't have reverse lights either. So if anybody's got any ideas about that, let me know. And I haven't figured out if the license plate light works yet or not, but that's for a different day. I bought the headlights today and the turn signals, which luckily it came with one that works. And we're gonna secure this and all of that too. So our first rule of order, which I didn't have showing on the first thing, was cut these pom-poms off. Alright, so we have our brand new Sylvania Silver Star light bulb, or headlight. And that plastic, pull the plastic cover off of the plug. So I got it in there. I don't have it all tightened down, but I got it in there. Let's see if it works. Yeah! It works! Now let's try the other side. Alright, this was obviously the side it got hit on with the four-wheeler. So this ring here was bent really bad. So it took some washers and whatnot, but I got it on there. Now let's see if it lights up. I really hope it lights up, because that was a lot of work if it came unplugged. I can't see. Oh, good. Alright, I'm going to hit the bright lights and see if that changes anything. Yay! Success! We have lights on both sides. All right, that's excellent. So we can check that off the list. So I found something out on the Ford here. Guess what works? headlights work. This thing still don't light up, but I don't really care. I still don't have any dash lights, but the headlights work, which we established that already. Now the tail lights don't work, just tail lights, but the brake lights work. And I think that there's an issue, a fuse or something's out, because none of the turn signals work. So I'm sure it's got some fuses that need fixed on it. I gotta dry off the windshield, because the other thing I was gonna do was, I got a piece of two-sided patch of flex tape that I'm just gonna put over this silicone here, and it should be good. It doesn't leak. I know there's holes in it, but somehow, even though I can see the holes in it, it doesn't leak. But the air comes through it, so I am gonna put Flex Seal there. I bet these are from the windshield. No, that's not. So I tried, our furnace just kicked down here. So I tried the emergency brake out in on the entrance to the garage. The emergency brake doesn't work, but the regular brakes work really good. But we're getting somewhere from the Studebaker, because Studebaker doesn't have hazard lights, and the doors, you can't lock the doors on it. With the key, of course. Both of these doors lock. Both door latches work. I don't have to slam the door shut. So, and this one's four-wheel drive. So we're getting somewhere. We're just neither one of my trucks have emergency brake. But they're manuals, so that's okay. Because just put them in gear. So the tailgate, I'm not real sure. It's like everything else. It's got a block of wood holding it together. And that's not a concern of mine. The fact that it's got one cable is kind of a concern of mine. You know, like, I'm thinking maybe this side when it latches is gonna get stuck shut. Hazard lights work, brake lights work, headlights work, and the dome light works. That's probably the original bulb in the dome light, because I think these are supposed to have a push button in them, and then when the door shuts, it pushes that button in. When the door opens, it connects some kind of connection that makes the light come on. Anyway, my other truck doesn't have that, so I'm not worried about the fact that that's not even hooked up. Now, I got on YouTube and started looking, because I thought it must just be a fuse. And the fuse that is labeled turn signal, oh, the camera's not going to focus. Does not appear to be a full fuse. I can't get that to show up, but you'll see it when I pull it out. But in our glove box, we just happen to have several brand new fuses, brand new old fuses. from Kmart. They were $1.17 at Kmart. So, and we have our fuse puller, which has instructions on how to use it. So, we're gonna pull a fuse out and put a new one in and see if we have turn signals. So this may or may not focus, but you can see, even with it unfocused, that is definitely not connected anymore. That is a separate, those are now separate pieces. When it's a good one, it's not in two pieces. It's one piece. So there are several types in there, several sizes. The first one I grabbed was this one, which was little bitty ones. Now we found ones that match. It's an SFE14.
I got it in there.
Well, that's not good because it's not clicking. Oh. That one is. I would expect to hear it click. Although it's fast, it does work. They blink about that fast on my other truck, so not real concerned about that. So maybe this one does work. Oh, hey, guess what? That one works too. Does the front one work? Yay! Hey, guess what? Now we... So if I can get this bulb shell out of here, I will have all of my lights working, even the dome light. Except for any lights whatsoever in the dash. Which is not great, but there's a YouTube video for that too, I'm sure. It might be one of those. I bought one of these because I was wondering if that might be the issue, but pull that out before I run my battery down. It's got a light and an arrow, and it says to turn the light counterclockwise, which is what I did, and it came out. And we are going to find out if the new one will work if this fixture still works. I would like to think it does because everything else that's wired up so far on this truck is in working order. So this one works too. Right, so I have not showed anything for quite a while on the Ford. So the original plug that was on this was black, and the only light that I remember specifically was the high beam light was green, which is this one, and it was not connected. And I never use my high beams on either of my trucks, so it didn't really concern me. However, then one day the just regular headlight itself wouldn't light up unless I pressed on it. So it just went downhill from there, and it basically the plug fell out. All the wires came out of it. So I went to the store and bought a new, they call these pigtails, and my dad and I wired it up, and it works. We just are waiting because the screws that hold the bucket in on the that holds the headlight in, the screws are bad. That's what I did with my other gloves. The There are 2 screws in this bucket, and they are still in there because they are rusted and they won't come out. So I have to put that back in there. But it does work. We tried it. I got my mirrors adjusted. There was a little spot of a hole in the silicone, so I put a Flex Seal patch over it. I wired this up so that it's not hanging down, but my van turn signal lens is not deep enough for this light bulb, which I can't expect it to work because it wasn't even for a Ford, it was for a Chevy. I just thought I'd try it. I was going to be cheap and not buy something, but I don't have anything that works on it. So it's still stuck in 4-wheel drive, so it doesn't turn very well. But, I think the only other thing I've done to it, got the oil changed and tried to clean off best as I could where those reflectors were at. I apparently don't have any footage of me changing the oil, so I'll just... Oh, and I put the floor mat from the passenger side over here, which I think this is actually a driver's side floor mat anyway, because of this extension. So we're getting places with it, just not super quick. One positive mark about this truck not having the cigarette lighter, which means I can't charge my phone. But one positive thing was it had an extra button over here that wasn't being used, so we just popped that out and stuck the choke on there. And then that panel there is where the radio is supposed to go, and I know it's dark, but you can see the silver line going through there, and that is the choke cable. Which comes out of the firewall up there where those pliers are at. And the pliers are just kind of keeping that from going in and out. So that's where we're at with it right now. Got the headlight fixed.